Let me ask you something. Have you ever smiled when you didn't want to, said it's fine when it absolutely wasn't, apologized for taking up space, for having an opinion, for simply existing? If you have, you're not alone. For so many of us, especially women, being nice has been a survival skill. We learned early that being agreeable kept us safe, that making others comfortable made us likable, that being easygoing made us lovable. But let's be real. Nice isn't the same as kind. Niceness is performative. It's a mask we wear to avoid rocking the boat. It's a cage we step into willingly, believing it will protect us. But here's the truth. Every time we silence ourselves to avoid conflict, every time we say yes when we mean no, we are choosing their comfort over our truth. And that, my friends, is self-betrayal. I know what you're thinking, but if I stop being nice, won't people think I'm difficult, selfish, mean? Maybe. And that's okay, because here's what's worse. Waking up one day and realizing you've spent years making yourself small so that others could feel big. I want you to hear me when I say this. You are allowed to take up space. Your needs matter. Your voice matters. Your boundaries matter. And I won't lie to you, choosing yourself will be uncomfortable. Some people won't like it. Some relationships will shift. But the people who truly love you, the ones who respect you, they won't walk away just because you stop pretending to be someone you're not. So today, I want you to make a promise to yourself. Stop being the nice girl. Be the real one. Be the strong one. Be the one who chooses herself, not just sometimes, but always. Because that's not selfish, that's self-respect. We hear it all the time, be nice. From the time we're little girls, we're taught that being nice is a virtue. Nice girls don't interrupt. Nice girls don't challenge authority. Nice girls don't make people uncomfortable. We learn to smile even when we're upset, to nod even when we disagree, and to prioritize the feelings of others over our own truth. But here's the thing, being nice is not the same as being kind. Niceness is performative. It's about making people comfortable, even if that means silencing yourself. It's about being agreeable even when something doesn't sit right with you. Niceness often comes from fear, the fear of conflict, of rejection, of being seen as difficult. It's a mask we wear to fit in, to avoid disappointing others, to be accepted. Kindness, on the other hand, is rooted in honesty, integrity, and genuine care. Being kind doesn't always mean saying what people want to hear. It means saying what's true, even when it's uncomfortable. It means respecting others, but not at the expense of respecting yourself. It means standing up for what's right, even when it makes waves. Let's be clear, kindness is not weakness. It is not passivity. It is not sacrificing yourself to make other people happy. Kindness requires courage. It requires boundaries. It requires the ability to say, I care about you, but I also care about me. Niceness avoids difficult conversations. Kindness leans into them with honesty and compassion. Niceness says, I'll say yes, even though I don't want to. Kindness says, I can't do that, but I hope you understand. Niceness puts the comfort of others above your own needs. Kindness understands that your needs matter just as much as anyone else's. For too long, we've been conditioned to believe that the best thing we can be is nice. But being nice at the cost of your authenticity is not kindness, it's self-abandonment. So today, I challenge you to let go of the pressure to be nice. Instead, choose to be kind. Kind to yourself. Kind enough to honor your boundaries. Kind enough to be honest. Kind enough to take up space. Because real kindness isn't about making everyone else happy. It's about showing up as your true self, unapologetically. People-pleasing feels harmless at first. It looks like saying yes when you really want to say no. It looks like bending over backward to make sure everyone else is happy, even when you're miserable. It looks like being the easygoing one, the chill one, the one who never makes a fuss. And for a while it works. People love you for it. They appreciate how helpful and sweet you are. They tell you how much they admire your patience, your willingness to put others first. And that validation, it feels good. It feels like love. But here's the hard truth. Every time you prioritize someone else's happiness over your own needs, you are betraying yourself. It's a slow, quiet kind of betrayal, the kind that doesn't seem like a big deal in the moment, but adds up over time. The kind that makes you feel resentful and exhausted without even knowing why. The kind that one day makes you wake up and realize you don't even recognize yourself anymore. Because when you live for the approval of others, you lose sight of who you really are. Think about it. When was the last time you did something just because you wanted to, not because it would make someone else happy, not because you were afraid of disappointing someone, but because it was what you truly wanted? If that question feels hard to answer, you're not alone. People-pleasing is often rooted in fear. The fear of rejection, of conflict, of being seen as selfish. We tell ourselves that saying yes is easier than saying no, that going along with what everyone else wants will keep us safe, keep us loved, keep us from being abandoned. But let me ask you this, if you have to shrink yourself to be loved, is that love even real? True love, true connection is built on honesty, not on sacrificing yourself to keep the peace. The people who truly care about you don't need you to be agreeable all the time. They don't need you to be nice at your own expense. They need you to be real. And yes, choosing yourself will feel uncomfortable at first. Setting boundaries will feel awkward. Saying no might feel like a betrayal of others, but it's actually an act of self-respect. So the next time you catch yourself saying yes when your gut is screaming no, stop. Pause, ask yourself, am I choosing them over me? And if so, why? Because here's what I know for sure. Your worth is not determined by how much you can give, how much you can tolerate, or how many people you can keep happy. You deserve relationships where you can be honest. You deserve to take up space. You deserve to honor your own needs. People-pleasing is self-betrayal, and you deserve better than that. Let's talk about the illusion of perfection, the belief that if we can just be good enough, smart enough, pretty enough, successful enough, then maybe, just maybe, we will finally feel worthy. Perfectionism is a trap. It tells us that if we work hard enough, if we control every little detail, if we never make a mistake, we can avoid pain, rejection, and failure. It convinces us that the only way to be accepted, to be loved, to be enough is to be flawless. But here's the truth. Perfection is a lie, and chasing it will only keep you small. Think about it. How many opportunities have you let pass by because you were afraid you weren't ready yet? How many times have you stayed quiet because you didn't have the perfect words? How often have you held yourself back because you were terrified of making a mistake? That's what perfectionism does. It paralyzes us. It keeps us stuck in our heads, constantly analyzing, overthinking, doubting ourselves. It convinces us that if we can't do something perfectly, we shouldn't do it at all. And as a result, we don't take risks, we don't speak up, we don't show up fully as ourselves, and the worst part, perfectionism robs us of joy. It takes something as simple as trying a new hobby and turns it into something stressful because we feel like we have to be great at it. It makes us feel like failures for being human, for having flaws, for making mistakes. Instead of celebrating progress, we obsess over every little flaw. Instead of appreciating what we've accomplished, we focus on what's still not good enough. But let's be clear. Perfection isn't real. It's a moving target, a standard you will never reach because it doesn't exist. So what's the alternative? Imperfection, growth, courage. The people who do the most in this world, the ones who inspire us, who make a difference, who live fully, aren't the ones who wait until they're perfect. They're the ones who show up anyway. They're the ones who try, fail, and try again. They're the ones who give themselves permission to be seen, not as perfect, but as real. And that's what I want for you. I want you to stop waiting for the perfect moment. Stop editing yourself down to what you think will be most acceptable. Stop playing it safe because you're afraid of getting it wrong, because you don't need to be perfect to be worthy. You don't need to have all the answers to take up space. You don't need to be flawless to be loved. You just need to be you, messy, imperfect, learning, growing, you. So today I challenge you to let go of perfectionism. Speak up even if your voice shakes. Take the risk even if you're scared. Try even if you're not sure you'll succeed, because perfectionism keeps you small, and you were never meant to shrink. You were meant to shine. Let's be honest. Most of us have spent a huge part of our lives trying to be liked. We've carefully chosen our words to avoid conflict. We've laughed at jokes we didn't find funny. We've stayed silent when we should have spoken up. And why? Because deep down, we believed that being liked was the key to belonging, to success, to love. But here's a truth that is both terrifying and freeing. Not everyone will like you. And that's okay. I know that's hard to hear. Because for so long, we've been conditioned to believe that being liked is the ultimate validation. That if someone disapproves of us, we must be doing something wrong. That if we can just be a little nicer, a little quieter, a little more agreeable, then we'll finally be accepted. But the problem with trying to be liked by everyone is that in the process, we lose ourselves. When you live for approval, you become a watered-down version of yourself. Careful, calculated, constantly adjusting to fit the expectations of others. You second guess your opinions. You hold back your personality. You become who they want you to be instead of who you actually are. And let me ask you this, is that really the kind of life you want? Do you want to spend your days molding yourself into someone who is more palatable, more likable, more acceptable? Or do you want to be fully, unapologetically you? The truth is, no matter what you do, no matter how hard you try, there will always be people who don't like you. People who misunderstand you, people who judge you, and that has nothing to do with your worth and everything to do with them, their perspectives, their insecurities, their expectations. You are not for everyone, and that's a good thing, because the more you embrace who you truly are, your voice, your boundaries, your quirks, your values, the more you will attract the right people, the people who love you not because you fit into some perfect, agreeable mold, but because of your authenticity. And yes, choosing to be yourself comes with risks. You might lose relationships that were only strong as long as you stayed small. You might make people uncomfortable. You might even feel lonely at times. But do you know what's worse than losing people? Losing yourself. So here's your permission slip. Stop trying to be liked by everyone. Start trying to be liked by yourself. Speak your truth, even if some people don't want to hear it. Set boundaries, even if they make others uncomfortable. Show up as you, even if it means disappointing someone else's expectations. Because when you let go of the exhausting need for approval, you free yourself. And that's when the right people, the ones who love and respect the real you, will find you. We don't like feeling uncomfortable. We avoid difficult conversations, shy away from confrontation, and resist change because it feels hard. We stick to what we know, even when it no longer serves us, because familiarity feels safer than the unknown. But here's the truth. Growth and comfort cannot coexist. Think about the most meaningful moments of growth in your life. Did they come from playing it safe? from staying in your comfort zone, from never taking risks or challenging yourself? No. Growth happens in discomfort. Growth happens when you speak up even when your voice shakes. Growth happens when you set a boundary even though you're terrified of disappointing someone. Growth happens when you step into something new, whether it's a career move or relationship or a personal challenge, without any guarantee that you'll succeed. And yes, it's scary. Yes, it's uncomfortable. Yes, you will want to turn back because our brains are wired for safety. They tell us to stick to what's familiar, what's predictable. They convince us that staying in the same place, even if we're unhappy, is better than taking a risk and failing. But here's what I want you to remember. Discomfort is not danger. Feeling uncomfortable doesn't mean something is wrong. It means something is happening. It means you're stretching, evolving, pushing past the limitations that once held you back. Think about a seed buried in the soil. It doesn't grow without breaking through its shell. It doesn't rise without pushing against the weight of the earth. That process isn't easy, but without it, there is no growth, no roots, no strength, no bloom. The same is true for you. If you want to grow, you have to be willing to get uncomfortable. You have to be willing to try and fail, to have tough conversations, to risk rejection, to step into the unknown, because the things you truly want, the confidence, the self-respect, the life you know you're meant for, don't come from staying small. They come from embracing the discomfort that comes with growth. So the next time you feel uncomfortable, don't run from it. Don't shrink. Don't tell yourself that discomfort means you're doing something wrong. Instead, ask yourself, what if this discomfort is actually a sign that I'm growing? Because that's exactly what it is. Discomfort is not the enemy. It's the price of becoming who you were always meant to be. If this sounds familiar, I need you to hear this. Your voice and your needs matter. For far too long, we've been conditioned to believe that speaking up is selfish, that asking for what we need is a burden, that expressing our emotions, our desires, our discomfort is making a fuss or causing drama. And so we stay quiet. We smile and nod when we want to scream. We say it's fine when it's not fine. We convince ourselves that as long as everyone else is happy, we can deal with being a little uncomfortable. But let me ask you this. What has silence ever done for you? Has it made you feel more understood? Has it deepened your relationships? Has it brought you peace? Or has it left you feeling invisible, unheard, resentful? Here's the truth. Silence does not protect you, it erases you. When you don't use your voice, when you don't advocate for your needs, you teach the world that you don't matter. You teach people that it's okay to overlook you, to dismiss your feelings, to assume you'll always just go along with what they want. But here's the thing, your feelings do matter. Your needs are valid. Your voice deserves to be heard. You do not exist to accommodate everyone else while ignoring yourself. You were not put on this earth to blend into the background, to be agreeable at all costs, to minimize your presence so that others feel more comfortable. You were meant to take up space. And yes, speaking up can be uncomfortable. Setting boundaries can feel terrifying. Asking for what you need might feel selfish at first. But you know what's more uncomfortable? A life where you constantly silence yourself. A life where you feel unseen in your own relationships. A life where you abandon yourself over and over just to keep the peace. So let me say it again. Your voice and your needs matter. If something doesn't sit right with you, say so. If you need help, ask for it. If you feel disrespected, call it out. If you want something different for yourself, go after it. The people who truly care about you, who genuinely love and respect you, will not leave when you start speaking your truth. They will listen. And the ones who can't handle it, the ones who only valued you when you were quiet, agreeable, and easy to manage, they were never really for you in the first place. So today, I want you to make yourself a promise. No more silencing yourself. No more putting yourself last. No more convincing yourself that your needs don't matter, because they do. And when you start honoring them, when you start standing in your truth, you'll realize that your voice was powerful all along. We grow up believing that if we can just get people to like us, to accept us, to validate us, then we'll finally feel worthy. We become experts